42-year-old Young An and her husband Chae Kyung-an, 53, were in her home arguing about their ongoing divorce and finances. From my understanding, not too long earlier, the separation order for Chae against Young was dropped. Not really sure the reason why it was dropped since this case is so brand new, but after their argument, Young decided to go to her bedroom to change. Chae followed her in there and started punching her multiple times. He then used duct tape to cover her eyes, hands, thighs, and other parts of her body. He left the room to go do something, and during this time, Young took the opportunity to use her Apple Watch to send out an emergency notification to a friend and call 911. I'm not going to play the full 911 call because she is duct taped, so you really can't hear her, but I'll share a little bit so you can hear that the operator is doing a wonderful job.
911, what are you reporting? Hello? Hello? Can you hear me? What's going on there? Okay, I'm going to get help started to you. Hold on for me for just a second. Do you know the address that you're at, if I said it? Are you at? Hold on, I'm going to get help started for you, okay?
About 7 minutes or so after Young made the call to 911, her husband came back into the room and dragged her out to the garage. There, he used a hammer to smash her watch while it was still on her wrist. I'm not sure if during that part the watch fell off of her wrist, but at some point the watch did fall off of her wrist, but it did not completely break. In fact, there's about 5 minutes of complete silence from when they left the house to where you hear the officers walk in. After Chae broke his wife's watch, he put his wife in a van and drove her to a wooded area. Once there, Young said she heard him get out and start digging a grave. Once he was done digging his hole, he came back and grabbed his wife. He stabbed her in the chest with something before dragging her into the hole and starting to walk around while burying her alive. While this is going on, Young is wiggling in there trying to keep her face clear, and miraculously is able to do so. She guesses she was in the hole for a few hours before she was finally able to free herself from the duct tape. The hole she was in was only 19 inches deep, so she was able to move the dirt and look and still see her husband's van there. She could see that the lights were on inside and the windows were very steamy. So without a second thought, she got up and ran for about 30 minutes and tried to hide in someone's yard. Fortunately, the people's yard she was in called the police, and as soon as the sheriff showed up, she ran and told them what was going on. She was able to guide the sheriffs back to where she was buried in the shallow grave. There they found some of the duct tape she was able to get out of, and it still had pieces of her Apple Watch on it. She also still had duct tape around herself at this time. From my understanding, when police made it to the shallow grave, her husband was still there, so he was promptly arrested. On November 1st, Chae pleaded not guilty to charges of first-degree attempted murder, first-degree kidnapping, and first-degree domestic violence assault. He was booked into the Thurston County Jail and is awaiting trial on November 16th. And fortunately, he's being held without bail. Young was miraculously able to survive the attack, and in the meantime, Chae is stuck in jail. His court case will be November 16th, 2022. I'll try to keep you guys up to date. There's not too many details on this since it happened a month ago, so I'll make sure to do an update if we have any news. Before we get into the rest of the video, I do want to give a shout out to today's video sponsor. Today's video is sponsored by Wonder. Wonder is an app that turns words into digital art, and it's nearly impossible to notice that a human artist didn't create the artwork. If you need help with a little bit of inspiration, or if you have something in your mind but you don't think you could put it on paper properly, try Wonder out and put your idea in there and see what they can help you out with. Make sure to click the link in the description and get a free trial for the premium. The premium version is faster, and you get no ads, and you can create unlimited artwork. It's as easy as picking an adjective, picking a subject, picking a situation, and picking a style, whether it be digital art, magic, hand-drawn, or the many other options they offer. As you can see here, I'm having fun messing around, and you can see what it comes up with. The art it pumps out is a lot better than anything I could do. But with the help of the AI, I can bring my ideas to fruition. Even if you just have an idea, type that in and see what it comes up with. You'll see that their realistic models work very well. Why not go give it a shot on your own? Make sure to click the link below to download Wonder and get a free trial of the premium version to put your creativity to the test. I hope you all try it out and let your creativity flow. I want to give a huge thank you to Wonder for sponsoring this video. Much love. And without any further ado, let's begin. Stephen Paddle was 20 years old when he met Alyssa. They started seeing each other and were soon expecting a baby girl. After Alyssa gave birth to their child, Katie, she realized they were too poor to raise her. She also suspected that Stephen was too abusive. Stephen and Alyssa wound up giving Katie away for adoption. A man called Anthony Fusco adopted her as he just retired from his service and started working as a corrections officer. Katie grew up a vegetarian who loved to play with animals. In high school, she became passionate about art. She aspired to work in digital advertising when she was older. But things didn't turn out that way. Anthony told Katie about her biological parents when she turned 16. Katie decided to reach out to them and happily reunited with them. So instead of going off to college, Katie moved in with Stephen instead. At the time, Stephen was 42 and Katie was 20. Over the years, Stephen had become way too abusive towards Alyssa. He had also become fanatical about guns and couldn't hold a job. So Katie had moved into a broken home. Her biological parents were sleeping in separate rooms, and they were in the middle of a divorce. Alyssa even confessed to Katie that one of the reasons she gave her away for adoption was because Stephen was abusive towards her. Weirdly, Katie didn't seem to mind hearing this. That's because she had gotten quite close to Stephen. Within a month of Katie moving in, Stephen started sleeping on the floor in her room. Alyssa ended up moving out and getting her own place. She did have 2 other children with Stephen, and the 2 of them were sharing custody. It was during one of the children's visits that Alyssa found out that Stephen and Katie were in an incestuous relationship, and that Katie was pregnant. Alyssa called Stephen in disbelief. She asked him if Katie was pregnant. Stephen was surprised Katie didn't know. "We're in love," he told her. Alyssa couldn't believe what she was hearing. She immediately reported Stephen to the police. In July 2021, Katie and Stephen got married. They lied on their application, stating that they were not related to each other. Katie's adoptive parents felt like there was nothing they could do, so they just supported her. In September, Katie gave birth to Bennett. She then moved to North Carolina with Stephen. Just 4 months later, the couple was arrested on incest charges. The authorities ordered them to stay away from each other, and Stephen's mother was given custody of their child. Katie went back to live with her adoptive parents after that. By April of that year, Katie was regularly visiting her adoptive grandmother in Waterbury, Connecticut. She also decided to break up with Stephen, which Stephen didn't take too well. And one day, while she was leaving for Waterbury with Anthony, Stephen was parked right outside waiting for them. They didn't see him in the minivan he was in, but he watched them leave. Several minutes later, there was a shooting. Katie and Anthony were found dead. Stephen had followed them to an intersection and opened fire after pulling up on the passenger side. His killing spree had actually begun earlier on, when he murdered Bennett. His mother had phoned 911 to report that.
Carry 911, address of the emergency.
Yes. My son just called me, and he told me oh my God, in North Carolina, he killed his baby, and he's in the house.
Okay, you said that he told you he killed his baby? Okay, ma'am, listen to me. What's your name? Okay, tell me exactly what happened.
He's not home. His wife broke up with him over the phone yesterday, and he told me she's in New York, and he told me he was on his way. He called me last night and said he's on his way. He's going to bring the baby to her, and then he was coming back. And he just
okay.
He said he killed his wife, he killed her father, and I can't even believe this is happening.
And did this happen in Nightdale?
No, his wife and father are in New York.
Okay, so the incident actually...
he left the baby dead when he left.
Okay, where did he leave the baby?
Okay, he said it was in the...
What's your son's name? What's his last name?
Same as mine.
When did this happen?
He said he left last night. He called me, I forget, maybe about 7 last night, and said he was on his way to New York. He was going to bring to his wife and give it to her, and then he'd be back. And he called me this morning. I just got off the phone just a couple of minutes ago, and oh God, he told me to call the police, that I shouldn't go over there.
Okay, so so your son is not there?
No, the house is empty. He said he put a key under the front mat. To take a key to get into the house under the front mat.
Did he say how he did it? Or what
no,
he did?
And I didn't ask him. I didn't want to know. Oh my God. He's such a wonderful little...
Okay, hold on just a second, okay? Okay.
Hello?
Okay, I'm still here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get you over to Raleigh Communications, okay? Let me talk first when I call, okay, so I can kind of give them an idea of what was going on, and then I'm going to let you speak with a telecommunicator, okay?
All right.
All right, hold on for me, okay?
Okay.
Are you still with me?
I'm here.
Hey, this is over in Cary. I have a lady wanting to report a possible homicide.
All right.
And she states that she got a call from her son. Was it this morning?
Yes.
This morning, stating that his wife had split up with him, and she was in New York, and that he killed left him upstairs at the residence.
The authorities tracked Stephen down and found his body. He had taken his own life in Dover. After the shooting, Alyssa came forward and said she was grateful her other children were not part of the tragedy. She opened up about how Stephen's temper had worsened. She even mentioned that there are some things she won't speak about because they are far too dark. Alexa Avila and Stephen Astorga were in a relationship in high school. They slept together and Alexis wound up pregnant. In the meantime, their relationship was falling apart. Stephen then found out that Alexis had a miscarriage. It was odd considering Alexis was open about her pregnancy and even stopped going to school for a while because of it. Then one day, a surveillance camera caught Alexis as she threw a trash bag in a dumpster. Some strangers coincidentally came to look for something in the dumpster when they heard a whimpering sound. What they discovered next shocked them. Alexis had dumped her baby, who was naked, covered in blood, and still had an umbilical cord attached to him, in the trash. Obviously, the people that found the infant immediately dialed 911.
911, where is your emergency? Hello, 911?
Yes, we just found a baby in the trash behind what is this? Damn, I can't think straight. Fuck. The hogs, what is it called? Fuck. Hey, Clifford, where are we at? The mall. Hogs, Broadway. Behind we're behind Hogs Mall.
Okay, I'm showing you 1218 North 3rd.
Baby, we had just found an infant child.
Is it breathing?
In the goddamn trash. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
The middle of the mall, behind the mall, the Hogs Buffet.
Okay. Is it closed?
Thornton Ute.
Does the baby have any clothes on?
Yes, it is making noise.
Okay. Do you have a blanket?
It is a boy, and he is still alive, I believe. He looks pretty good.
Okay. Do you have a blanket or something you can wrap him in?
Huh?
Do you have a blanket or something you can wrap him in?
Yes, ma'am. He was in a blanket.
Okay. Can I have your name?
Huh?
Can I have your name, please?
He looks like he's in good health, actually.
Okay. Can I have your name?
He still got his umbilical cord, she said.
Okay. Can I get your name? A phone number?
I don't. You'll have to wait. The passenger's moving, or the driver's moving his truck. But no, hold on 1 second. There we are behind the mall.
You're behind the mall?
Yeah, right here behind Hogs Buffet.
Okay. And that's the corner of Ute and Thorpe?
Yes, ma'am. Hogs Buffet, Old First. Hogs, New Mexico.
Okay. Have you covered him in a blanket?
He is in a blanket, yes, ma'am.
Okay. Is he crying?
He's whimpering. He was not crying, actually.
Okay. Did you see anyone in the area?
No, ma'am.
The authorities arrested Alexis and charged her with child abuse and attempted first-degree murder, to which Alexis pleaded not guilty. The judge then agreed to release Alexis on house arrest pending her trial. Alexis' defense was that she didn't know she was pregnant. So when she gave birth in her parents' home, she panicked and didn't know what to do. Her trial is still ongoing. On March 1st, 2011, Anthony Prate's wife, Bridget Prate, passed away in a car accident. At the time, their marriage was on the rocks. Anthony suspected Bridget was cheating on him. He once heard her talking to a friend about real estate and what happens after a homeowner passes away. Anthony called the cops thinking Bridget was hatching a plot to have him murdered. Anthony was behind the wheel when Bridget passed, but he walked away without any charges. He claimed that Bridget had unbuckled her seatbelt to search for her purse in the car, and that's when he lost control and crashed into a tree. An autopsy later revealed that Bridget was already dead before the accident. There were also injuries on her body that a car crash couldn't explain. Bridget's case continued to perplex investigators for years. They couldn't figure out how she had died. All they knew was that the car accident was not sufficient to kill a human being the way Anthony claimed it had killed Bridget. By 2019, Anthony was seeing Margaret Daniel. They had been seeing each other for some months. One night they hosted a dinner at Anthony's house and invited neighbors over. For some reason, when the subject of death arose that night, Anthony started to get agitated. He left the room for a long time, leaving Margaret to apologize for his behavior. Nobody knows what transpired that night once the guests had left, but just a half hour later, Anthony dialed 911.
Tell me exactly what happened.
My girlfriend and I had a fight. She stabbed me with a knife, and I stabbed her back, and I think she's gravely wounded.
Okay,
And
I'm gonna
wounded
get
too.
our police and paramedics on the way. Is she still inside right now?
Yes, we're both inside.
Okay, hang on just a second, please. Do you still have the knife in your hand, sir?
It's on the floor.
Okay.
She's not breathing. I don't know what I should do.
Okay, sir, I want you to just stay on the phone with me. I'm letting my officers know. Where is the knife at that she had?
It's on the floor.
Okay, do you
We're
feel...
both fighting with the same knife.
Okay, do you feel safe enough to go back inside to check on her at this point?
Yeah.
Okay, is there anybody else inside the house? Is it just you and her, and
Yes.
that's it? Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, let me know when you're back inside. We do have help on the way as we're talking, okay?
Okay. Okay, I'm back inside.
Okay, I want you to tell me if she's awake.
She's not.
Okay, stay on the phone with me here,
She
sir.
doesn't look good. She doesn't look good. I don't know what I should do for her.
Okay, we're gonna walk through this and try to help her until the police and paramedics get there, okay? Just stay on the phone with me here. How old is she, sir?
48.
Okay, hang on just a second here.
Should I do CPR? Should I try CPR?
Okay, so we're going to walk through this. Hang on just a moment here with me. How old did you say she is again? 48?
48.
Okay. Is she breathing?
I do not think so.
Okay.
There's a lot of blood. There's a lot
Okay. Is she breathing?
I don't think so. Could I do CPR?
Okay. Okay, hang on just a... Okay, I want you to stay on the phone here, so we're good.
I've got injuries to my hands and my arms, but I could do CPR. Should I?
Okay, sir, I want you... Okay, sir, listen to me. We have the police and paramedics, like I said, on the way to help you. I want you to stay on the phone with me. Hang on just a moment here. We're going to start CPR, but I'm letting my police and paramedics know. Just stay on the phone here with me, okay?
Should I do CPR? What should I do?
Okay. Okay, if there is a defibrillator available, I want you to get it now and tell me when you have it. Do you have a defibrillator? Okay.
I don't think there's a defibrillator.
Okay, that's fine, sir. We're going to go step by step on this. Hang on just a second, please. Okay, listen carefully, sir. We're going to start CPR. Are you right by her now?
I am.
Okay. Listen carefully, sir. Hang on just a moment here with me.
There's a lot of blood.
Okay. Okay, just stay on the phone with me here.
Yes.
Sir,
What should I?
is someone there, sir? Is the police officers there with you?
Yes.
Sir, hang up and talk to the officers. They'll help you.
Okay. What should I do?
The authorities arrived at a bloody scene in Anthony's home. They soon found out that before Anthony called 911, he had called 3 different family members and spoken to them about stabbing Margaret. The authorities arrested Anthony and charged him with first-degree murder. He got out of jail on bail and ended up living with an ankle monitor in his mother's house while awaiting trial. Why did they let this guy out on bail? That's so freaking weird. But while awaiting trial, Anthony caught C-19 and passed away. With that, Margaret's family can no longer learn why Anthony killed her. Despite Anthony being dead, the authorities are taking a second look at Bridget's death. After what Anthony did to Margaret, they believe he may be guilty of whatever caused Bridget's passing as well. I really do appreciate you taking the time to listen to this video. And once again, don't forget to help the channel out and get some cool art at Wonder. Click that link in the description below and let your creativity flow. Much love, everyone. Hope you all have a wonderful day. And like I said, I really do appreciate you dropping in. Did try to get a very new story for a lot of you all for the very beginning. I know a lot of you say you don't like the older ones, which is totally fine. So I might have some updates as the case develops. Like I said, actually, as of recording now, he should have court tomorrow. But I will already have the video going, so yeah, we'll just go from there. But I really do appreciate all your support. If you enjoy the video, don't forget to turn your notifications on. Hit that like, leave a comment, subscribe, tickle my bum. I'm just kidding. Yeah, I will catch you in the next video. And just remember, it's always scarier if it's true. Bad bye.